Okay. Good evening and welcome to the 68th annual meeting of Vermont Federal Credit Union. My name is Peter Winch, Director of Marketing at Vermont Federal Credit Union, and I'll be the host for today's online meeting. Let me begin with a few brief housekeeping items. First, today's meeting is being recorded for future use and distribution to our membership. Second, members in attendance are welcome to vote on motions made during the business meeting. In order to cast your vote for a motion, you'll be prompted with a pop-up on your screen that includes the motion along with the range of responses. And lastly, as an attendee, you are welcome to submit a question to be addressed during the new business section of the meeting. To submit a question, please use the Q&A feature located on the control panel at the bottom of your screen. And with that, it gives me great pleasure at this time to introduce the Vermont Federal Credit Union Board of Directors. Megan Manahan Bliss is our board chair. Megan is an attorney and shareholder with Cahill, Gahn, Miller, and Manahan in St. Albans, Vermont. Will Voigt is our board vice chair. Will is the senior accountant at D.W. Voigt CPA, a tax and consulting firm in South Burlington, Vermont. Joe Finnegan is our board treasurer. Joe served as the president CEO of Vermont Federal Credit Union for more than 30 years, and he is a member of the National Board of Trustees for the Credit Union Legislative Action Council. Suzanne Lynn is our board secretary. Suzanne is the owner of Suzanne Lynn Fit, a health coaching business focused on good physical and emotional health. She is the former co-publisher of the St. Albans Messenger, Milton Independent, Colchester Sun, and the Essex Reporter. Ethan Hutchins is employed at Dealer Policy as a senior software engineer. Paul Politano is employed by Middlebury College as their head golf professional. Lisa Reese works for U.S. Citizenship and Immigration as a leadership coach, specializing in emotional intelligence and appreciative inquiry. She's also the co-author of the book, A Leader's Guide to Solving Challenges with Emotional Intelligence. Neil Robinson recently retired from St. Michael's College, where he served as their vice president of finance for 15 years. Prior to St. Michael's, Neil had an extensive career as a chief financial officer for large local banks in both Vermont and New York. Mary Beth Spellman is an attorney and serves as the Director of Workforce Engagement at Hickok & Boardman HR Intelligence, an employee benefits and HR services consulting firm. Members of our supervisory committee include Louise Tabo, Chair, Paulette Bergeron, Donald Turner Jr., Jennifer Kennelly, and Jason Plaza. I'd now like to invite our board chair, Megan Manahan Bliss, to call the meeting to order.
Thank you, Peter. Good evening, and welcome to the 68th annual business meeting of Vermont Federal Credit Union. My name is Megan Manahan Bliss. I am the board chair, and I call this meeting to order. Peter, can you please establish that we have a quorum?
We do have a quorum.
Thank you. Today's meeting will be conducted according to Robert's Rules of Order. You were provided a copy of the minutes from the 2020 annual meeting electronically, along with meeting instructions. I make a motion to accept the minutes as printed. Is there a second?
I second the motion. This is Heather Kabosnik.
A survey poll will now be launched for voting. All those in favor, please signify by selecting yes on the survey poll. Opposed, please signify by selecting no on the survey poll. Based on the poll results, the motion passes. As the chair of Vermont Federal Credit Union's Board of Directors, I would like to take this opportunity to report on the credit union's key achievements over the last year. The global pandemic that emerged in 2020 resulted in unprecedented challenges and uncertainties for our credit union, our membership, and the local communities that we serve here in Vermont. When COVID shutdowns began to affect many Vermont families and small businesses, our credit union responded decisively, providing relief to ease the financial burden with special loan programs and flexible repayment options. Our credit union remained open for business, serving members through our branch drive-throughs, contact center, and digital services, all while maintaining the health and safety of our members and staff. Despite these challenges and a weakened economy, Vermont Federal Credit Union experienced tremendous growth in 2020 and remains fiscally strong and ready to support its members. For these reasons, the credit union continues to be recognized for our dedication to our members and our communities. We were recognized by Forbes as a Best in State Credit Union for the third consecutive year, and also received Vermont Business Magazine's 2020 Best of Business Award for Addison, Franklin, and Grand Isle counties for the fourth consecutive year. Our credit union continues to rank among the top in the country and is ranked #1 in the state of Vermont by the independent research group Callahan and Associates for the amount of value that we give back to our members each year in the form of higher deposit rates, lower loan rates, fewer service fees, and member engagement with our products and services. We also continue to focus on expanding access to our products and services. With this in mind, we are excited to announce the recent opening of our newest branch at 1 Carmichael Street near Essex Town Center. This location provides members and residents of the surrounding community with convenient access to a full suite of financial services, including a multi-lane drive-through and 24-hour ATM access. We are also pleased to share that we are working diligently toward opening our future corporate campus and branch location at 275 Kennedy Drive in South Burlington. A general contractor has been hired and building renovations are underway with the goal of moving in by year end. We look forward to welcoming members and local residents to both of these new locations. None of what I've shared would be possible without the tireless efforts and dedication of the credit union management team, staff, supervisory committee, and board of directors, whose collective mission is to make a decided difference in the lives of our members. On behalf of the board, I'd like to thank all employees and volunteers for their important contributions that resulted in yet another successful year. I would like to extend special thanks to Suzanne Lynn, who is completing her 6th and final year as a volunteer director, having donated her time and invaluable expertise to the credit union over that time, truly making our credit union stronger for the future by her contribution. And finally, a sincere thank you to our membership for continuing to choose Vermont Federal Credit Union as your trusted financial partner. I'm now very pleased to introduce the President and CEO of Vermont Federal Credit Union, Jean Gaillard, who will share with you her report.
Thank you. Thank you, Megan, and thank you to all of you who are attending this year's annual meeting. 2020 was a year of pandemic, social unrest, and political turmoil. It's in times like these that credit union principles of people helping people shine through. We are a cooperative financial institution whose sole purpose is to serve our membership. The pandemic had a dramatic effect on all of our lives and has touched very close to home for many of us. Throughout, our goal has been to meet our members' needs while ensuring member safety, as well as the safety of our credit union employees. Using CDC guidelines in March 2020, we implemented health and safety protocols for our branches. Our call centers continued to provide uninterrupted services, and our management and staff shifted seamlessly to a remote work environment within a 2-week period. We also made sure that those who remained in our offices adhered to mask and social distancing guidelines. To help our members through the pandemic, we offered over $440,000 in emergency relief loans, granted 183 deferrals for mortgages, and over 1,000 payment relief requests. For our business members, we offered payment relief assistance and fulfilled 290 paycheck protection loans, providing more than $9.5 million in funding to our small business community. Thanks to our technology and our digital capabilities, members were able to conduct their banking through online and mobile banking platforms. We saw usage of these platforms increase substantially as more members embraced opening new accounts, applying for loans, and depositing checks with remote deposit capture. We also introduced a new website that helped our members stay up to date on the latest information from the credit union. Although it was a challenging year, it was also a year of achievement and growth. The credit union grew by $151 million, and we ended 2020 at $739 million in assets. We also had a record year in lending, funding over $300 million in new loans. Membership grew at the rate of 5.78% to over 44,750 members. It was also a record year for mortgage lending. We helped 698 members with $168 million in funding to purchase or refinance a home. Through our seed money program, we provided over $200,000 in down payment assistance to first-time home buyers. And we were once again recognized by the Vermont Housing Finance Agency as a top performer. This demonstrates our commitment to help low and moderate income Vermonters achieve home ownership. During the pandemic, we conducted a survey of our membership to ascertain that we were meeting their needs. I'm happy to report that members remain satisfied with our efforts. We continue to solicit and utilize feedback from our members to identify opportunities for improvement of our quality of service and level of convenience. We're working on a number of initiatives for 2022 to improve the member experience. As Megan shared earlier, we will be opening a new corporate campus and branch at 275 Kennedy Drive in South Burlington. We will also be introducing enhancements to our debit and credit card program, including contactless tap-to-pay cards and many new card management features with online and mobile banking. At Vermont Federal, we remain committed to providing our members with the best financial products and services and experience possible. We have also made a commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. We stand by the principle that what's good for people is what is good for business. Embracing each person's unique talents and experiences allows us to go further and do more in pursuit of our mission. There is also significant evidence that companies that have a broad representation and welcome a range of perspectives perform better in the marketplace. On behalf of the leadership team, I want to thank our staff for going above and beyond last year. Their commitment to our members never wavered. They showed resilience and courage in the midst of unprecedented challenges and continued to dedicate their efforts to improving the financial lives of those we serve. I would also like to thank our members for their continued trust in the credit union. The trust and partnership, that trust and partnership has allowed us to thrive and grow. Our credit union remains fiscally healthy. We have a strong balance sheet and are well capitalized. We have a regulatory examination by the NCUA and an annual audit by external auditors, Crowe LLP. I am happy to report that we have a clean bill of health from both entities. We also have our internal auditor who helps ensure that our controls are strong and a risk department that monitors compliance with rules and regulations. A summary of our year-end financial statements is provided in our annual report. If you would like a copy of the audited financial statements, please contact us and we would be happy to fulfill your request. On behalf of of your credit union's entire team of staff and volunteers, we thank you for joining us for today and for being a member of Vermont Federal Credit Union. And now I'd like to turn the meeting back to our board chair, Megan Manahan Bliss.
Thank you, Jean. The report of the Supervisory Committee is included in the annual report, which was provided to you electronically along with the meeting instructions. I now invite Ethan Hutchins, Chair of the Nominating Committee, to give the committee's report.
Thank you, Megan. A nominating committee was established according to Vermont Federal Credit Union bylaws. I'll now share the report of the nominating committee. This year, there were 3 directors to be elected to the board. The committee submitted the following candidates for nomination to the board chair. Megan Manahan Bliss. Megan is currently serving as chair of the board of directors for Vermont Federal Credit Union. She is in her 6th year of service on the board and appreciates the opportunity to continue to contribute to the credit union's success. Megan practices law and is shareholder at Cahill, Gahn, Miller, and Manahan PC in St. Albans. Megan received her Bachelor of Science from the University of Vermont School of Business and her Juris Doctor from Suffolk University Law School, having attended the University of Montana School of Law as a visiting 3rd-year student. Megan is active in her local community, having served in numerous volunteer roles over the last 20 years. Megan lives in her hometown of St. Albans with her husband, Jason Bliss. Paul Politano. Paul is the head golf professional at Middlebury College and the assistant coach of the men's and women's golf teams. Paul received his Bachelor of Arts degree from St. Lawrence University and has held numerous leadership positions within the Vermont golf industry. He is the former general manager and head golf professional at Neshobe Golf Club in Brandon, Crown Point Country Club in Springfield, and Montague Golf Course in Randolph. He's also served on the Vermont PGA Board of Directors for 11 years, and he was named Vermont PGA Professional of the Year in 2009. Paul resides in Brandon with his wife and his 4 children. Emily Burney. Emily is the Director of Finance and Administration for the Vermont Agency of Natural Resources. Emily received a Bachelor of Arts from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, a Master of Science from SUNY College of Environmental Science and Forestry, and a Master's of Public Administration from the Maxwell School at Syracuse University. She currently serves as a volunteer faculty member for the Snelling Center for Government Leadership Institute and treasurer of the North Country Camps Foundation, a 100-year-old summer camp in the Adirondacks. Emily resides in Montpelier with her husband and child. She is happy to call Vermont home and looks forward to contributing to the continued success of the credit union. Our credit union bylaws allow members to be nominated by petition, in addition to those submitted by the nominating committee. Nominations by petition must have been received at least 40 days prior to the annual meeting. No petitions have been received. As indicated in the Vermont Federal Credit Union bylaws, in the event there is only one nominee for each position to be filled, the nominees will be elected by general consent. I now declare the nominees elected by general consent. With that, I'll turn it back to the board chair.
Thank you, Ethan. Congratulations to our newly elected officials. Is there any unfinished business to come before this meeting?
At this time, there is no unfinished business.
Is there any new business to come before this meeting?
Yes, member Edward Johnson submitted the following question. The interest rates for all types of savings accounts are very low. However, the interest rates for loans are much higher than interest earned on savings. Why? Jean will answer that question. I think currently on mute.
Thank you. Thank you for your question. We are in an unprecedented low rate environment. Currently, federal funds rate and the Treasury yield curve, both of which strongly influence our rates, are at historic lows. Our rates remain very competitive with local banks and credit unions, and our reward checking account has a 1% interest rate for those who meet the qualifications. Of credit unions our size, we are pleased to share that we paid out the highest amount of interest in annual interest per member in 2020. And as Megan mentioned earlier, we were ranked #1 in the state of Vermont for the amount of give back that our members receive in the form of higher deposit rates, lower loan rates, and member engagement with our products and services. I'm happy to report there is a likelihood that the Federal Open Market Committee of the Federal Reserve will increase rates early next year.
At this time, no further questions have been received.
Thank you, Jean and Peter. And thank you to those who submitted questions. With that, I call this meeting adjourned.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you to all our members in attendance this evening. You will be receiving a thank you package in the mail as a small token of our appreciation.
This meeting is now concluded. I thank you, and we look forward to seeing you next year.